Okay, so all of us have dreams, and not many are lucky to see them come true. It's not mere luck, it takes a lot of hard work, blood and
Yes.
sweat, anxiety ridden sleeps at night. But the joy the process brings, and when things start to happen, is unparalleled.
So today we have one of such unique stories of an academician who turned his long-time passion of farming and entrepreneurship into reality. And his wife shared this vision, brought in her own experience to give everything she could to start this venture.
Together, they launched a brand that is homegrown in the beautiful soils of Meghalaya and took it to the world. Kper is not just a brand they introduce, it's a labor of love. And that involves a strong support ecosystem from the community.
In their own words, Nakaper is a gesture and gratitude of giving back to the community. So let's know more about it from the man himself. Without further ado, let's welcome
Damewanmi
Damewanmi
Suchiang.
Suchiang, the co-founder of Nakaper. Just give us a minute. I will just like bring him. So welcome Dame.
Yeah, thanks, Vishal and Shelly, for having
Thank you
me
so
here,
much.
hosting
The
me in your
pleasure is
platform.
ours. Yeah, it's lovely to have you with us. We have been speaking to you for a long time about this, and we finally you're here, and we couldn't be happier.
True. Okay, so
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. It's really an honor. It's a privilege for me to be in your, in your platform, and given me this privilege to speak a little bit on what we have started, a few years back, and
Yeah,
I hope it'll be beneficial for all of us and also for our listeners.
absolutely, absolutely. We look forward to the conversation today. So, to begin with, you are an assistant professor at Saint Edmunds College, Shillong, and your better half, Sheila, is a lawyer. So, how did you guys both get into something so different? What was the idea behind getting into agriculture and entrepreneurship?
Uh, I know, Vishal. Actually, it's something. Yeah, like you said, something different. What we have started. Being from academics and especially being from the environmental science background, I've thought a lot about the impacts of modern agriculture on the environment. Besides other impacts that we're seeing today, all right, from climate change to a lot of other effects that are detrimental to the environment. So over the years, we when I look at at the the impact of modern agriculture, then I realize that something that needs to be done again. See, agriculture, modern agriculture is not only about only about food security, not only about about making sure that everyone has food on the table, but most importantly, we also have to look its implication and its impact on the environment. So and another thing is that being from the northeast, wherever we are, whatever we're doing in life, I think agriculture is a part and parcel of our lives. Okay, and when we started, Nakper, in fact, since farming, agriculture has always been a part and parcel of our culture. It's like what you said, different is not very different, though. I'm doing working as an academician, as a teacher, but deep in my heart, I think I'm very drawn towards the agricultural practices, especially indigenous practices, that are sustaining, that has a very less impact on the environment. So when we shifted to this, and also another reason is that why agriculture here is that coming from from a region, coming from an area which produces the finest turmeric in the world now, the famous Lakadong turmeric. I realized that we need to do something about it. Of course, prior to when we start Nakper, I've been we are into farming of Lakadong, because if you don't farm it, if in my area, you're lacking something. So at the backyard of our houses, like what we call them, kitchen garden, or maybe to put it in the right way, the home gardens. Why we name our brand Homegardens Harvest, Nakper Home Garden Harvest, is basically we source our our products from such type of farming plantation. So what really happens, over the years, we realize that okay, fine, let's do something about it. And then Home Garden was introduced. We started Homegardens Harvest, Kper Home Garden Harvest. So the meaning of Kper is basically from the garden, okay, from the garden. So whatever we produce, whatever we start packaging, is we try to accept. Of course, we have a different products, that is rice, which come from, again, the indigenous paddy fields of our state. So mostly it comes from indigenous farming. So again, another thing I like to add to that, why farming? Because, like I've said earlier, coming from an area which produces the best, the finest, Lakadong turmeric in the world, with a very high curcumin content. So we thought that, okay, let's do something, and then I told my wife, like, I'm a little bit tired of selling it to my colleagues and friends, and giving it away for free to our well wishers. And that is our culture. I remember, my mom used to grow turmeric behind the house or in our farms, just to give it away for free. Like my friends coming from other part of the country visiting my my hometown, so we love to give it for free. Then I realized that, okay, why not, let's not do something about it. And like you said, yes, we are totally from a different background. My wife is a
Yeah.
lawyer and I'm a teacher, but then we just follow our heart. And then we put things in place, and you just have to have a little bit of passion. And of course, how you divide your time. Of course, number one priority is always academics, to teach. But at the same time, I told my wife, why don't we do something? We have a long winter break here in Meghalaya, all right,
Mm-hmm.
almost 2 months like that. So I thought that, during the winter break, why don't we do something, start something where I'm a little bit free, not very occupied with my work. So that is how we started. And again, I repeat again, I think being from the Northeast, I think agriculture is very much a part and parcel of our life.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Agreed.
So tell us more about your brand Nakape, right from like the conceptualization and planning to the launch. You know,
But first, you need to tell us how do you pronounce it?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is
And
very
what
true.
does it mean?
Yeah, how you pronounce it? Nakper. Na
Nakape.
means from, and Kper means garden. So from the
Okay.
garden, Nakper. And then
Okay.
we
Okay.
also add, we've added, an English version of that. So it's called Nakper Home Gardens Harvest.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So basically, like I've said, we started it. Actually, it all started, from one of our turmeric, garden, our
Mm-hmm.
turmeric garden, and then the original name of Nakper is something else. We name it after that garden. Then I still remember, my mom was saying, "Arey, why do you give this name? It doesn't sound nice or something like that." She a little bit maybe, she's close about it. Then I thought that no, I think people needs to know our dialect also, the language that we speak. Then we realized that, okay, why don't we give a Nakper, because we will not only focus with turmeric, Lakadong turmeric, because over the years, as we move, maybe we like to introduce other items. So,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
the brand Kper, like
Mm-hmm.
I've said, was started in 2020. But prior to that, we've had, the planning took us almost 4 or 5 years, uh, because being from, from academics, and, especially as a person, whatever I want to do anything, I don't do it, overnight. I
Mm-hmm.
really look into it, do a little bit of research, and then work on it, and do a lot of survey on on scientific papers about turmeric, about this product, that product. So all that it took us almost 4 years, and of course my wife will look
Oh,
at the legal aspect of it, because we have no entrepreneurial skill whatsoever. Okay, we have no idea how to start a business, how to start a brand. But over the years, I'm very grateful that Nakper has taught us many things. I have no idea how to move about, for example, trademark. We trademark Nakper. I don't know how to move about it. Contacted
mm,
few lawyers from Shillong. I remember they said, okay, what is this trademark? In fact, they asked me how to move about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I contacted few friends from outside Shillong. That they guided me, and so that is how. And then of course how to move about it. The different licensing, from food licensing. Contacting different labs, because we make sure that all our products should be properly tested, especially the nutritional values. Okay. And then
Mm.
the labors, departments, the weight and measures. In Meghalaya we have a lot of these different things that we have to make sure that to be put in place, to start anything. So we want to make sure that when we launch Kper, we want it to be as as it should be a proper a brand that have all papers in place. And then just recently, of course, we got our GST registration also. Then we realized that the only way to grow is to move beyond the boundary of our state. So then we started all that. So it's really a learning process. And also we like you mentioned about what is Nakper all about. We started Nakper based on these few foundations pillars. Okay. Like we strongly believe in fair trade practices. I mean, whatever produce that we have, I think it's too less to sell it in the market. So we what happened then we realized that okay, the only way to move ahead or to scale up is to meet more people who are growers. Speaking
Correct.
about
Correct.
grower here, it doesn't mean that farmers. You won't believe that our growers come from various backgrounds: teachers,
Yes.
technocrats, bureaucrats. They are a part and parcel of Nakper. So
Mm.
why we focus not only on farmers, because we want to you make sure that our consumers gets the best.
Mm.
When you purchase any Nakper products, we
Mm.
are assured to get the best, because our growers is not only farmers. We make sure that
Mm.
we source our products from the best. Especially nowadays, we all of us are concerned about pesticides, about chemicals.
Mm.
So we want to
Mm.
make sure that whatever whatever product that goes into our packets, it's absolutely
Mm.
free from chemicals. Or maybe, for example, like yeah, I we have to admit, for example, rice farmers do give a little bit of what we call as NPK,
Mm.
synthetic fertilizer, but everything is within the permissible level. We can't say that we are organic product, but as much as possible, we make sure that all our products is safe to consume. So that is
Correct.
one. Another thing is that ethical practices. We want to make sure whoever deals with us, we make sure that we don't bargain much, all right, because we know the labors behind every product that is being grown. And then besides that, we also make sure that that whoever is involved with Nakpia should be benefited. So, which
Yes.
I think we'll be discussing later, as we move, as we progress
Yeah.
in the interview.
So,
So
so
this is
this,
Nakpia.
yeah, so this is for our viewers. Knowing Dame for a long time, he's a very proper guy. Who's like who wouldn't do things just for the sake of it. And we have had the fortune of trying out some of his products last year, which he very generously gifted. And then we had the turmeric, and we must tell you that
One of the best quality.
that was one of the best quality that we ever had. We
Yes.
brought it to Silchar, and all of us, our entire family, we had it. And when it ended, it kind of gave us a bit of a disappointment. It was that good. So
Yeah,
and
don't
and
worry, Vishal. Anytime you require, I think you'll be getting it. And then, of course, we are
uh,
available online, so you
uh,
can you can check
and the
those online.
packaging, we must
It's too good.
it is very good. We really need to appreciate the hard work that went behind making the packaging.
So, as you said that the people behind Nakaper, so we want to know that there is a strong association with women. And is a brand that aspires to bring a change to the lives of the women associated with your Nakaper. So we want to hear more about it. So tell us something about that.
Yeah, thank you, Shelly, for bringing that that aspect of this
Yeah.
brand also of
Yeah.
Nakpia. I would say that men are not there, but the brain behind Nakpia is of course started by me, and of course my wife really supported me in
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
areas. And then as we move, as we progress, the passion that we put into, we realize that especially when I go back to my hometown, it all started that with our people who's helping me in the farm, in the garden, to grow turmeric.
Mm,
So
mm,
that I told my wife that I think Nakper, why don't let's do something, why don't we focus Nakper exclusively with women folk. like I said, men are always there, of course, we are
Mm.
there, but why don't we focus it also with with a women centric kind of a startup, though a small venture, but let's do something. I'll just tell you a small story. Some of
Mm.
our staff who's been helping us, they started by just growing turmeric in our farm, in our garden. And then
Mm.
when it's time to required to deweed the crop, to remove the weeds, to unwanted plants that are growing together with the crops. So basically taking care of the caretakers of our farm. Then later,
Mm.
I realized that I see the sincerity in them. And I told my wife, why don't we give them a little bit of training, how to handle machines, how to handle our packaging machines, how to handle our, even, they don't know even how to use scale, for example.
Mm.
So it
Mm.
all started from there. And then now, to see them, to see that confidence in them, the growth in them, how to handle these machines, how to, switch on, how to adjust, all that is very, encouraging to see them. And most importantly, over the years, of course, over the years, I mean, for the last 2 years, we can also see, that they're not only confident, but at least we can probably say that, the financial, the economical, impact that we have in their lives, we can see that that has really changed a lot. So that
Mm.
is one thing. And another aspect of Nakper is that as we journey, we also encountered with women folk, who are single mothers,
Mm.
So then me and my wife, thought about it, that why don't Nakper should do something with single mothers. So
Mm.
what happened then, quite a one two of our growers are basically single mothers who, whatever they get from their from the garden, 5 kilos, 10 kilos, or 15, 20 kilos of turmeric, they started giving it to us. Then I told my wife, why don't we do something, why don't we have a small part of Nakper, like as a mission, to support
Mm.
them. So
Mm.
now, it all depends on our market. Now, if there is a response, if our market grows, so I think we can also, what we're intending to do now is that encouraging them to to go for a bigger farming
Mm.
kind of a thing.
Mm.
So that is what Nakper is all about. And we tried our level best, though of course we can't do it in a big way, but
Mm.
something in a small way, if if we can just bring a change in at least few individuals life, I think that is all about. Because another thing is that when we started uh, Nakper is all about, of course, giving back to the community, giving back to the community. So a little bit I like to add to that. My friends always said, whenever I take them to my hometown, they said, wow, it doesn't look like a village. My home, I
Mm.
belongs to a place called Shangpung in West Jaintia
Mm.
Hill, famous
Mm.
for it. Of course, it's turmeric, it's Lakadong Turmeric. So I said,
Mm.
over the years, it has really progressed. We have a very dynamic, of course, representative, public representative there. But not only that, but almost everyone who resides, for example, in Shillong or maybe in other part of the country, they one something or the other they would like to give back to to my hometown, to the community. So I saw that that in our in my fellow villagers, so that is how it all started. And then to see my village grow over the years is mainly because we give back. Don't, maybe not in a in a big way, in the financial matters, or maybe in various whatever you may say, but at least for example, like we make sure that our manufacturing unit is located in my hometown. And then in our packaging we clearly mention the name of my village, manufactured back in, say, in Mission Compound, West Jaintia Hills, Shampung, West Jaintia Hills, for the world to know, okay, where's this Shampoo, where's it located. So
Correct.
that is what how Nakper started. So we take pride that we belong to Shampung. And yeah, as an inhabitant of that village, I think we need to
Mm.
do something about it. So I can see the passion in many of my fellow villagers who resides in Shillong, like I've said, in other part of the country. So we love to do something to our village, to bring its
Mm.
name, to bring the fame of
Mm.
of my hometown. Yeah. So that is
So,
how we started.
Yeah.
yeah, so this is where we would love to share some photographs with our viewers. Uh,
Yeah, I will just like all the products of
or
Nakapir and a little bit more about the brand. So let me just share the screen. Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute. I think I will just adjust it. Yeah. Now you can.
So
Yes. So this is the place, right? Where like it is
where it is grown,
grown. Yeah.
It's
and
called the
these are
Kper.
Yeah.
raw products, and the women working. And this is the turmeric
Turmeric. Yeah.
that we had.
And these
Again,
are all the
people.
women that we have spoken that they are associated with Kper, and they are doing everything like right from growing it and like
Hmm.
everything. And this is what
And
I really love about
yeah,
the packaging.
this is how it finally looks after it is out.
Mm.
The packaging, very beautiful looking.
So, Dame, you
They
want to add something on this, like the packaging and everything?
I mean, yeah, you know, actually, when we started it also, being a very, a little bit on the, the finicky kind of a person, when I do anything, I really invest my time and, everything into it. So when I do anything, I make sure that it should always be good, and so,
Yeah,
the packets, I still remember, we really spent a lot of time into it, sitting together with the guy who designed it, and then
yeah,
the I look at the spacing of the font and all that, so finally, and it's so encouraging. It's very
mm,
encouraging. You really feel nice, when when people appreciate it now. Whoever saw, whoever, in fact, some people, they call us, from various part of the country, telling us that, wow, the packaging is very nice, and like that. So I told them that, it's not only about the packaging. What is important is the content inside. So,
yeah,
that is what, Nakayar is all about. And yeah, like I've said, we really spent time, working on the logo and and
yeah.
everything, So all that, yeah. So and then and the research that goes behind it, how to, to start, how to, to find, the a very nice looking packaging, and of
Mm,
course, as eco-friendly as possible, right?
mm,
Because yeah, I think, the environment is very much important to us. All right, when we,
correct.
the manufacturing of our products, we also want to make sure that, we should know, our carbon footprint, how much, products of Nakper are is having an impact on the environment. All that, the
Mm,
holistic approach of manufacturing, producing, and keeping in mind, the its impact on the environment. All right, the carbon footprint, and of course, sustainability is very, very important for us.
yeah,
Sustainable practices is very, very important, because in this
correct.
day and age, I think if we don't keep that in mind, I think we have nothing left for for our future generation. So,
So,
that is how, we look into it. Yeah.
mm,
So this is the website of Nakper. People can actually go to the website, type nakper.com, and they can get all the information they want to know. They can follow Nakper on Facebook, Twitter. They are also present on Instagram
Pinterest.
and Pinterest.
Yes.
Yeah. And
And
speaking of that, actually, you wouldn't believe, we've just started our social media, just few months back. I remember, we there's a saying, in our language, "Sedang nalaying." Sedang nalaying
Mm,
means like, begin from home. So
okay.
when we launched Nakper, that was in the February, 24th Feb 2020. We launched it, of course, with the intention that we always wanted to have buyers from, beyond Meghalaya, and the lockdown, strike, and then I still remember, that was, really a challenging time for us. We don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to move about it, and then it was really a challenging phase. So, of course, we're so grateful, which is worth mentioning here. I'd like to mention to just few clients of ours who have been very, very supportive, in these ventures of ours. One of them I like to mention here is a store called Regata store in Shillong. They've been, our greatest supporter in this. And if ever you happen to visit Shillong, please kindly make sure that you visit Regata store. They have different varieties of local products there. Is a, it's I feel is it's a very good store if you I think and it is a must visit store if you come to Shillong. So
Wow.
and then besides many other local departmental stores who have been very very supportive when we first launched Kper. And also before I forget Kper is not only about supporting women folk. It's not only about supporting the farming community. But what I really I would like to mention here that even my students, some of my students have been a part of Kper. For example,
Oh,
like
nice.
the person who is taking care of writing all the contents in our website is my student. She's from the English department. Her name is is Priyanka Sana. Okay, and coincidentally she's from Silchar. And then also you have I have my brother who's my student and helping me now, Dao. And then and then I have Sao, who take care of design whenever I require. He's always there to help. All right. And then another person, my student now, a former student, Tony Slung. He's an artist, so he take care of our design now. So anything we require, any new updating our designs, posters and all. So he's the guy I normally contact now, and he take care of all that. So it's not only about supporting so in a small way, whatever we can support, we make sure that that Kper should involve a lot of other people from various backgrounds. So now there are some of them are still doing their post graduation, and then some of them are working. Like Tony, he's an artist now, and then, so it's very nice. I really feel privileged to have been to be working together with my student as well. So that is
Okay.
Kper to you actually.
Okay. 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 So, moving ahead, I think you have also like got this award. So we will talk about that. So, yes.
Damir, please share with us your experience with the Silver Innovation Award from SIAL
CL
CIL
India.
India you received.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I would love to do that. We launched, like I've said, we launched our product in 2020, and then prior to that, like I've said, we are nowhere in social media. We're nowhere in in Instagram, whatever social media platforms. So I still remember last year, October, I think the 7th September, I think September or August. We receive a phone call from the Directorate of Food Processing, Government of Meghalaya, informing us, why don't you bring your product? There is a selection happening right now to represent Meghalaya at the SIAL, India, is an international food expo. So
Yes.
I spoke to Sheila, my wife, and then we said, okay, why don't we give it a try? And then so I still remember we took our product there, and then I still remember the reviews, the feedback that we get from we got from from the panels. It's very encouraging. They're very very happy to see our products, and I knew instantly that maybe Kper is finally going to represent Meghalaya at at the big event, like like the SIAL India expo. And
Yes.
then I still remember, there is a section where you can also apply for, exhibitors can apply for the SIAL Innovation Award, as we call it. Then I said that since we're going all the way there, why don't we give it a try? Then I thought that, okay, it's whether we should go for it or not. Then, I still remember the day before the last date. So I told Sheila, why don't we just give it a try? You'll never know. And then so I'm very grateful to my brother-in-law. So we sat together. So we kind of put whatever requirement that is needed for the criteria to go for the SIAL Innovation Award. And then so I still remember we sat till 3 in the morning, me and Sheila again, after working, putting all things together. Then we posted. And later, the next day, after a few days, we realized that, okay, nothing happening, because normally the criteria is that the selected brands will be contacted by SIAL. So it never happened. So we thought that, okay, at least we give it a try. So, but then I still remember the day when we were there at the SIAL in Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Then one of the official came and collected our product. They say that we need a product to display it somewhere in one of the, I don't remember exactly, in one of the the podiums maybe. I thought that maybe they're taking sample from every exhibitors. Then again the person came again for the second time. He said we require again another packet. because this
Mm,
packet has been, I think the chef, would like to look into it, and so they open it and all that. So I told them, I said, okay, why don't you, since we have extra packages, we give it. It never struck our mind, that
mm,
it was selected.
mm,
Only, I then, before, the announcement, and I thought that I told my brother, let's just go and check what is happening. And
mm,
then we realized that, okay, it's there, amongst the top tens, or, the selected, brands.
mm,
And then when they, then I started seeing that they're removing Nakper. I thought, okay, gone, at least we make it to the top 10. Then I
mm.
saw that, they kept aside, three brands, and Nakper is there. And then I still remember, that they, when they announced, that,
Yeah.
that finally we made it to the second, position, competing with big brands, because we're just a small venture, it started with just by following your heart, and, the passion. So it's really an achievement for us. So we are 2 years old now, and then getting this, this achievement, this award, I think it's really, a wonderful experience for us. So,
Mm.
so that is, what exactly happens, in the CL India,
Yeah.
gathering. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we would love to share
Yeah, some
uh,
pics from that event.
some pictures
Just click here.
here. No.
No, yeah, just a minute.
So these are the pictures, and this is the award, which happened in Pragati Maidan, Delhi.
Yeah. So these are some of the, four pics from that event.
So Dame, what are the future plans for Nagpur as a brand?
Uh, you know, it's a very difficult question.
It is.
For any startup, for any venture, I think, growth is very important. But
Yes.
more than growth, all right, I think, people should experience Nakper. I
Hmm.
think they should taste it. They should, uh, see it. They should get it. All right, then only you understand what Nakper is all about. So, the future plan is that, yes, like I've said, sedang nalaying, begins from home. We now this year we've started, distributing it to, the different districts of our state. Uh, Secondly, we're looking at Northeast. Actually, if we get just one or two stores in every, capitals of the Northeast, it'll be great for us. Another, thing is that, of course, to you know to have stores at least in few, cities in India. That is our dream. But again, having said that, you know for me personally, we don't look at, meeting targets. There's no goal for us. There's no, like, okay, this year this will be our target. And all. We move with the flow. Nakper is an experience. Nakper is all about, giving consumer the best. So if people likes it, if they appreciate it, I think that is an achievement for us. That is what we want. So as of now, we have no target. We don't look at, even to break even also. We don't look at all that. So
Mm,
if people love it, I think that is, an achievement for us. So that
mm,
Yes.
is, I think, our future plan is that. And, like I said, maybe, yeah, of course, jokes apart, incorporating more, people into it, especially, like I've said, growers,
mm,
identifying more, struggling mothers. That is what our future plan is, and to
Hmm.
give,
mm,
our consumers always the best and the finest, and
mm,
the finest produce. Because,
Hmm.
Nakper is also, we want to make sure that it's synonymous with purity, number one, quality. All right, we
Hmm.
want to make sure that, the purest produce goes into our packets, and then
Hmm.
quality, and of course traceability. That every product should be traceable. Not that,
mm,
there's a middleman giving us, and then you don't know the product comes from where. So these are,
Hmm.
our future plans. And, yeah,
mm.
so yeah.
So, guys, we have come to the end of our
Yeah.
conversation with Dame, and we had a wonderful time with him. Dame, one last quick word of advice for people who want to venture out for anything they want to do, as an entrepreneur, but are kind of, they kind of, hold back
Scared.
themselves.
Yeah.
It's not really easy,
It's not easy.
because what we or what anyone can learn or understand from you is, because you are doing something else, but then again, you thought of pursuing something,
Mm.
and then you took the leap of faith,
Mm.
which is not very easy. And we just want to understand what kind of mindset goes behind the kind of approach that you do.
Yeah, thanks, Visha. I think I think it's always a good question to end an interview. Yeah, I think it's not easy. It's very challenging, like I've said, especially now. Everything is very uncertain. If lockdown happens, then again any kind of a startup, any kind of business will be shattered. So
Mm.
why Nakper is like a pet project for us. We're not entirely dependent on it. So somehow, even when it was a struggling phase for us in 2020, somehow okay, we said that okay, fine, we somehow we can manage to pull on. But if maybe a youth wanting to start, an entrepreneurs wanting to start something new, that is again, yeah, a very important thing that needs to be looked into, because especially like I've said, now things are very very uncertain. All right,
Yes.
especially with the pandemic that is happening right now. So I think my of course I'm not fit to give an advice, maybe a suggestion is that whatever you do, I'm telling this to all the youths of Northeast, Meghalaya in
Mm.
particular, is
Mm.
that give your best. All right,
Mm.
when the Kper was selected for sale, is not only about the packaging but the whole story that involved around it. But of course,
Mm.
the final product, what people will look at is, for example, in the case of Nakper, is our packets. So
Yeah.
whatever you do, I think give your best. I still remember, an officer from the Department of Agriculture, right, saying that when I first saw Nakper, I can't believe that this product is from Meghalaya. So
Yeah.
that is an achievement for us. So
Exactly.
my suggestion to the youths or to anybody who would like to start, when you do, give your best. All right,
Mm.
do a little bit of research. Of course, investment is required, but I
Mm.
think it pays off in the end. All right, Nakper now, I would say that it's we have attained achievement, but I think we are still in the, in the part of improving it more and more. But I think give your best, and then
Mm,
perseverance is very very important. Maybe sometime it might not work, in the first few years, but I think keep on doing it, because still even in the second year of the existence of Nakper, I think we it's still a struggling phase for us. So we
mm,
haven't made anything yet, but
mm,
I think so. That is my suggestion to especially to the
mm,
youth. Give your best, and of course, a little bit of research behind
mm,
what you want to do is very very important.
mm,
Correct.
Information is at the tip of your fingertip. All right, do a little bit of research, study a little bit, read a little bit. I think and be unique, be different. Yes, Nakper is nothing, it's nothing great if you look at it. It's like anybody doing anything the same way.
no,
But
Yes.
we would
yeah, but
disagree, but
Yeah, we
yeah, but
disagree
what
on
we what we have what we have done is that it's reflected in our packets, we
that.
give our best, we give our best. So I think that is what I want to say. Whatever you do it nicely. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm.
look, think internationally, maybe I would say, to put it in a very layman kind of a thing, so that
mm,
even your product, if somebody
mm,
maybe, who knows, one day it might land up in abroad. So we're,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're so happy now that we our product is it has reached the US, France,
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
UK.
congrats.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
not that we are supplying there, but there are people, for example, like from the Northeast, from Shillong, from few parts of the country,
Yeah.
who have been buying our products and taking it there. All right, a friend
Mm,
of ours, from North Bengal, recently ordered from us that that her hubby is taking it to France now.
Mm.
So it's like that. So and then why people are choosing Nakper now is that okay, it's worth it to take it even abroad also. So that is what I want to tell to everyone, that give your
mm,
best, do it
Yes.
nicely.
yeah.
Correct.
So it was lovely insight from Dame. and we had a wonderful conversation with him. And we'll wrap this up today. And do follow Kper on the website, on its website, on the social media handles, as well as don't forget to subscribe to Shelly Space and our YouTube and social media handles. And we would see you again on a Saturday at 7 p.m.
with another interesting like personality, like what we
with and with more interesting stories.
yes. So
So
with
good
that,
night.
like good night, and
And
see you on Saturday at 7 p.m. Thank you so
yeah,
much for being there.
mask up, keep your hand sanitizers along with you.
Yeah, correct.
Stay safe and stay protected.
Yeah. Okay. Good night.
Good night.